During this pandemic, we've all had a little bit of time, maybe a lot of bit of time, to focus on yourself. So I'll ask you now, how are your energy levels? How are you sleeping? Do you need to lose a little weight? Well, wouldn't it be nice to have a little head start? Someone who can help you with that. And I'm talking about helping you a great deal by optimizing your hormones. And that is 25 again. Joining me now is Lisa Innebach. She's not only a registered nurse, her and her husband Ted own the business of 25 again. Lisa, welcome back to the show.
Thank you for having me, especially this day after Valentine's. I'm in my Valentine's outfit.
She is ready for Valentine's. That's okay. We can celebrate throughout the week.
It's cheaper the next day anyway. Of course, everything's going to be closed because of the roads, I guess. Yeah. But, you know, whatever.
But is it fair what I kicked it off with? I would assume that your business would be up quite a bit because a lot of people now are saying, you know what, I've got a little bit of downtime, more than I've expected or more than usual.
Yes.
And I've had a chance to look at myself and maybe say, hey, you know what, I can do some things to feel better, to sleep better, energy levels, to help out my relationships. All that's available through 25 again, right?
Yes. And yeah, silver linings. I mean, there's always silver lining in any situation that you go into. So the pandemic has been a time for us to kind of regroup and add some new services and things. And you talked about the hormones, and we are definitely experts in that. You definitely want to see someone who is an expert, not just someone who may or may not know bioidentical, synthetic. We'll talk about that in a minute. But we're also primary health care as well. So that is important. If you're battling high blood pressure or diabetes, things like that, we need to get that under control. Where we used to send you to your regular doctor, we're now taking care of that. A lot of people are now going to private health care anyway with the way healthcare is going. And so we do that. And then we're also specialists in hormones. So if you want to lose weight, if you want to sleep through the night, if you want to have energy, if you've got some other ailments that you're already dealing with and you want to add the hormones to make it better, we could do that as well. We spend a lot of time with you. Your normal doctor, unfortunately, only has 5 to 7 minutes with you. There is no way they have time to take care of your physical health, your mental health, your sexual health, and all the primary care things. We limit our memberships to only so many per provider. That way we can spend initially an hour and a half to 2 hours with you. Think about how much education you're going to get in there. Probably more than you want, and it's okay because you're going to keep coming back and you're going to keep learning. It's really hard to lose that weight and keep it off. Well, excuse me. It's not as hard to lose weight as it is to keep it off. Your body chemistry makes a huge difference. So when you're 25, you have everything that's needed inside for that to happen and that to continue. As you age about 35, you probably need us. Around 40, as far as the hormones go, you definitely do. You do not have the same metabolism. You're not going to be sleeping through the night likely. And even if you think you feel good, you would be surprised how many people come in and they're like, okay, I didn't even realize that I felt bad. I guess it's like a light bulb factory.
Sure.
If you only undo one light bulb at a time, you don't realize how dim the room is until we turn them all back on. And that's what we do.
Yeah, you get adjusted to that. I think you get used to the new norm.
Yeah.
And why do that? If you can feel better, why not do that?
Why not?
Let's talk a little bit about your primary care. Now, I mentioned when I opened up the show about hormone optimization, which is certainly a big part of this.
Sure.
But the primary care work that you're doing, when you get that lab work back, Lisa, you can take a deeper dive. And that's really what it's good to feel your optimal best. It's not just about hormones. It's about trace minerals. It's about vitamin levels. It's about your thyroid. You've talked about that a lot.
Yes.
And you guys do all of that to make sure that you're 100% the best you can possibly be.
Absolutely. So when you say we dive in, we get 4 pages of labs to begin with. Now, if you already have some recent labs, bring those in. We're not a lab company. We'll add to that. It's likely that they didn't get the levels or the numbers that we want because we do. We not only check the thyroid, but we do the TPO antibodies. Things like this, I don't want to get too in depth because it becomes too complicated, even though it's easy for us. Something called Hashimoto's. But, thyroid is not a weight loss program. Do not get me wrong. But it's probably not functioning like it was. So there's TSH, T4, and T3. Likely your primary care will test your TSH. He or she will say, oh, it's normal. You come to us, we dig a little deeper, the T4, the T3, the TPO antibodies, and we're like, okay, it's normal in their world, but in our world, here's what we're going to do. I had a girlfriend that was going to come on with me today, and unfortunately she couldn't. Hope to get her on later. She's been trying to lose weight for 10 years, and just about 10 pounds. I mean, she wasn't heavy, never heavy, but she just couldn't do it. She was told her thyroid was fine, then she found somebody that messed with her thyroid, then she came to us. it's just different. I mean, you know your body, and people are banging their heads against the wall going, gosh, I used to be able to sleep through the night, I used to be able to do this. I know something's not right. And they're writing out an antidepressant as fast as they can. They think everybody's depressed. There is a time and place for those medications. Do not get me wrong. But likely, once you get the hormones optimized, not normal levels, what they say, then you're going to feel much better. And maybe you can come off those meds or lower them.
All right. If now you're intrigued, I'm really excited about this VIP assessment.
Yes.
Because it includes so much. Body mass index. We're going to take that deep dive with your lab work. Let's talk about it, because it's a nice special. If you're like, I'm a little apprehensive, don't be. This may have you pull the trigger. Tell them what it includes, Lisa.
A nice special, John. It's a fabulous special.
There you go.
For $99, it's the VIP assessment. It's normally $395. You're going to get 2 visits, come in for your lab work, and then about a week later, you'll come in for your 1.5 to 2 hour evaluation. We'll do a physical. We'll do the body mass index. The first 20 callers, you don't even really have to become a member. If you call, get the labs, and sit down with us, we'll still give you that free B12 shot for an entire year, 1 per month. That alone can make a huge difference. If you do become a member, you get B12 unlimited.
Wow. That's,
Yeah.
and from what I understand from vitamin B, this is for your energy levels. This will up
Yes.
the energy levels.
Yes.
You will feel different. It's odd, because I'm one of those people that I don't mind taking supplements, but I want to feel a difference.
Yes.
These B vitamins that are involved, you will feel a difference.
You will, and you want to be educated about that as well, because a lot of people take them orally, and through the digestive system, it doesn't break down. It's not that it's a bad thing, but the best way to take B12 is an injection. Second best would be under the tongue. And speaking of vitamins and supplements, we do that as well. And the very special thing about our supplement line, because we did a lot of research, there are no fillers in our supplements. What we say are in our supplements are in our supplements. They are tested as if they were an FDA-approved drug, meaning they go through all those tests. So we know. Now, some people will come in and say, oh, I'm taking vitamin D3, and I'm looking at the paperwork going, yeah, you are, and it's working, so that's okay. But at least with us, we know. And another bonus, you can get those without being a member, and you can have them delivered straight to your door, because we just happen to have a pharmacy, thanks to my husband, New Vitalis, that will actually mail those to you. So those are not prescriptions. Most people do not have the level of vitamin D3 that they need. It's a vitamin and a hormone. It helps pull calcium into the bones. It's the happy hormone. It helps with SAD, seasonal affective disorder. And it's also been studied and shown to help with weight loss as well. So those are the things. The levels there, normal, are 30 to 100. Vitamin D is the very special vitamin that you can't have a toxicity to if you get too much. So the higher level is 100. So we want you to be at 60 to 80. So we're doing everything safe as well, and we're monitoring those numbers.
Something I wanted to mention here, if you've been jaded, you're accustomed to your primary care physician hurrying you in and out. And I'm not pointing fingers. I understand that, because they've got quotas to meet. It's different at 25 again. You spend the necessary time. If someone needs a half an hour, you'll give it to them. If they need an hour, you'll give it to them. Whatever it takes to get them where they need to be.
Whatever it takes. You have access to us definitely during business hours, and a lot of times even on the weekends they're available to text. Not making any promises, but you can, and you're speaking right to them. It's not like, oh, I've got to call the nurse or the medical assistant, see if I can get through. I mean, you can communicate right with them, and they do only take limited amounts. So what I wanted to announce today was, please, please, you're probably at home waiting for the snow to come. Pick up that phone now, because we are only going to take a limited amount of members. And as we expanded in Kentucky, we've decided to start expanding in other states, because we are licensed in other states with our pharmacy. So fortunately and unfortunately, we're going to be expanding business, but not here. So if you don't get in one of our providers soon, you may be on a waiting list, and you don't want that to happen.
All righty. We're going to take a little break here, and then we're going to have another winter weather update, because yes, the storm is gaining momentum. Brian Good will give you an update, and then Lisa will be back for more from 25 again. So if you want to know about the weather, it's on the way. Wave 3 listens live.